Hey there folks, we're back now for game 2 of this best of 3 between Moon and Knicker, and obviously this is a best of 3 from ESWC. It isn't a knockout quite yet, and so you can still lose and go through, but certainly it's not too great a thing to lose it, because I think especially Knicker, I think isn't in the best of positions as it is. Moon been playing absolutely fantastically this competition. I have very high hopes for him. It looks like both players are going for the standard Ancient of War creeping with Demon Hunters. Pretty standard stuff. Obviously on this map it's possible to play Fusion of the Moon. It's a bit harder. What reminds actually popularized quite a bit has been using late Huntresses on this map with the Demon Hunter, and just going for sort of a second Ancient of War and then pushing while your opponent is teching the tier 2. It's really nice. You can hide sort of Hunters. You can hide a Hunter's Hall just down here, which is a very sneaky thing to do because your opponent's never going to be scouting down here, and obviously it's a bit out of the way, but at the same time, if your opponent does manage to get to it and kill it, then you've probably already lost, because you really need to have all that dominance early game with all those Huntresses, and this map is so small. The Huntresses certainly are a very nice unit to go for. Actually, look at what Moon's going to do here. He's going to bring in this archer between these two wisps, and a lightning shield's going to go down on those on that archer. Really nice play there by Moon. It's not something that's hard to do, and watch how much extra damage will be done to these two creeps. No one's even attacking them, and look how much damage the creeps are basically doing to themselves. Moon will need to be careful to bring this archer away from the creeps so that lightning damage or lightning shield damage isn't what gets the kill on these creeps, and you can see he does it just in time. Very nicely played. And the way you can know what to do there is, if a creep detects that there's a unit where if a lightning shield were to be cast upon it, that would hit 2 units in its current position, then it will cast lightning shield. And so by being able to abuse that, you can do a bit of extra creeping. Moon, meanwhile, going for an Ancient of War in Knicker's base. I really like this decision here. It's something that you see a lot in 2 versus 2s, occasionally in 1 versus 1, if you want to get a quick tech off, something like that. And Knicker really needs to bring his units in to attack it right now, because it gets so annoying if you let it go up, and I think Knicker will be able to do a whole lot of damage to it, possibly force Moon to cancel it, or it'll be quickly killed once it's done. Knicker, meanwhile, going for an expansion, and Moon looks like he's not going for an expansion quite yet, though he does have a couple wisps around here, and Knicker actually has 1 wisp as well, just to scout it out, and Moon looks like he's not going to kill that. And actually, looks like Moon's Ancient of War might actually go up here, and this is such a pain, because it means he's going to lose a lot of Moon Juice trying to heal up his Demon Hunter, which will be tanking a lot of damage here. And he's going to have to spend money repairing this Moon Wall. He's going to lose a lot of time. Really nice play here by Moon. And it is pretty tricky to know exactly when you should go in and cancel it, because you don't want to go in too soon and sort of really make all their attacks too or make it sort of too easy for them. But at the same time, Moon going for a second Ancient of War and a Hunter, so looks like he's going to be playing with lots and lots of Huntresses. Obviously bears are pretty common on this map. Dots less so, but certainly a possibility. And it looks like Knicker's going to take a whole lot of damage here on his Demon Hunter, and that's just so annoying for him. You have to feel for him at this point. And Knicker actually going to be using his Shadow Priest to heal up the Demon Hunter. That's a very nice decision there. But meanwhile, you can see this Knicker only at level 2, whereas Moon now at level 3, and has some pretty nice items as well. I mean, he has lots of extra hit points, already at 900 hit points and almost 7 armor, but not setting up an expansion of his own, quite interestingly. Instead of just getting extra vision on his units, doing some a bit of just sort of light damage to some of Knicker's stray units, and not actually even creeping out that camp. But meanwhile, Knicker actually putting up Hunters all of his own. He hasn't started his tech yet, so I think this could be quite bad for Knicker. He doesn't have that second Ancient of War. He does have this Tree of Life. If he manages to hold that, things might well go his way. But otherwise, if Moon manages to get the kill, then that could go badly for him. And it looks like Moon going to just do a bit more damage here. Going to try and take out the Shadow Priest, but Moon doesn't want to take all the extra damage on his Demon Hunter, and so just lets it live. And this Ancient of War finally goes down. Look at how much damage it did, though. It's really held Knicker back, and Moon now scouting out this expansion as well. Ooh, I think he scouted it out at least before he turned around. If not, he must. Moon's just so good on this type of thing. He will have scouted it out basically. And Moon, meanwhile, moving in with all these Huntresses now, going to try and do some harassment. Knicker finally starting his tech to tier 2, but it's very late, and Knicker probably won't have the piercing damage output that he needs from those Dryads until very much later in the game. And I'm not sure if Knicker will be able to hold this off. Maybe a couple of Ancient Protectors will be able to tide him over, but he will need to keep this expansion alive, definitely. Otherwise, he could be in a lot of trouble. Knicker with his Ancient War down here will be trying to do a bit more damage, and looks like Moon, the glaive damage from these Huntresses did almost take down 1 wisp, and so Knicker got the detonate off. Actually, Moon just now focusing down those wisps first. Obviously, they go down very quickly to those Huntresses, and so many wisps being brought in for Knicker, and Knicker obviously has no way of reproducing these wisps at this moment, so he's just losing a lot of lumber production, which is so important if you want to get up those Ancients of Lore. And this Demon Hunter taking a lot of damage for Moon, so it does need to get out of here. And Moon meanwhile being able to do a lot of damage to all these archers, and Moon picking up a bunch of mercs as well. Actually a very nice choice there by him. And this Tree of Life finally having to root, and Moon coming back in with Demon Hunter, such a gutsy move. Gonna try and steal the item, picks it up, and will definitely get out of here now. I'm pretty sure that was a Circle of Nobility. It might have been gloves. Actually no, sorry, it was a Glove of Haste. It wasn't Circle of Nobility. And it looks like Nicker gonna lose expansion now. What an excellent start here for Moon. Obviously he's not gonna have the tech advantage, but he's gonna just have so much sort of map control now. Nicker really in a bad position. Might even lose his Ancient of War if he's not careful. Now producing Huntresses, but really it's too little too late at this point. And Moon actually with Moon Walls around the map as well, just to be able to do a bit more harassment effectively and get back quickly. And it looks like actually Nicker took a bit of damage on this one Wisp, but just ran up here, and I didn't realize there was an Ancient of War there. Moon putting down an expansion of his own finally, and so you do really need that if you're really fighting sort of up against a higher tier. And it looks like Nicker can try and creep this out. It's just not Nicker's day now. Moon immediately scouts it out, and Moon might well do a lot of damage here. Moon can actually get the mana burn here off on this Ogre Magi to try and steal the kill, but Nicker actually being trapped here by the Demon Hunter. Absolutely fantastic play here by Moon, and then Nicker forced a TP away, and Moon just picks up the item so cheekily, gets the experience, and Potion of Greater Healing. What a fantastic item there for Moon. Really strong early game there for him. And it looks like one Ancient Protector is going up for Nicker. Interestingly, it's going up outside the Moon Walls. Often obviously it's nice to put it in here where it's a bit more protected, but Nicker being forced to produce a lot more Wisps now. Obviously he's going to be very low on lumber. Picking up a second hero, yeah, picking up a Beastmaster. Really interesting choice there. What he must be assuming is that Moon's not going to tech to tier 2 for a very long time, so he's not going to have the Dryads. The Shadow Priest won't have enough mana to do a lot of dispelling, and all that piercing damage is going to be very nice. And it looks like Moon again trying to make good use of this marketplace. We've seen this before. We've seen this a lot in this competition, actually trying to use the marketplace to best effect. And it looks like Moon's expansion is starting to go up, but it looks like Nicker actually not moving in to try and kill it. It would be pretty easy to kill just by sending in a couple Quill Beasts at this point. But it looks like Moon just bringing in a bunch more Wisps in preparation for that expansion to go up. And Moon now with a whole bunch of mercs. Look at this. A Mud Golem being kept back, I think, so he doesn't waste any of his mana or just doesn't take any damage. Obviously you can turn off slow off autocast, but he just does so little damage. His whole point is the slow basically. And it looks like Nicker being very careful with how he brings in his Wisps now. Nicker knows his expansion is going up, but I think he knows he can't. Oh, actually, no, Nicker going in to attack it. Guess he doesn't know where Moon must be around, which is amazing. But Nicker did buy a skull TP there, and actually it's in the wrong slot. Hopefully he realizes that and doesn't accidentally pop it when trying to use a healing scroll. Looks like Nicker actually needs to be very careful though, because he's just massively behind in terms of army size. Gonna try and do some damage to this expansion, but he's not gonna be able to do enough. And looks like Nicker will be on very much the back foot here as he loses his Quill Beast and possibly this Berserker as well. Yeah, Berserker goes down, and Nicker just needs to keep his Beastmaster within the range of that TP. Does manage to do it and does stay alive. And what an excellent start of the game here for Moon, who was actually taking a lot of damage on this Wisp from this Ancient Protector. Does unfortunately go down. But Nicker now with one Ancient of Lore up and an Ancient of Wonders as well. Oh, sorry, two Ancients of Wonder, or two Ancients of Lore and one Ancient of Wonder, and that means that Nicker can get all the advantages of tier 2 that Moon doesn't have. And actually Moon now taking a tier 2, so he will eventually have those. And it looks like Moon's army is largely Huntresses with a lot of merc thrown in, and ones are upgraded for those mercs. It'd be nice to see that armor upgrade as well. We're not seeing it at the moment though. Maybe Moon's plan is to transition to Ancient of Lore build, at which point those upgrades would all be useless. And so Moon now going to do some more creeping. Actually, he could do with doing some more harassment actually at this point, and Moon actually going to lose this one Moon Wall if he isn't careful. But he is bringing in one Wisp to repair, and looks like this Wisp will be sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're going to use the Moon Wall to heal up, but that's only going to last for too long. It is wasting a lot of Nicker's time though, and looking like Moon might actually be able to get in here, get a slow off on one of these units and try and get a kill. And it looks like I wonder what Moon's going to do at tier 2 actually, because he has so many hunters at this point. Nicker actually going for a lot of Dryads and for the Bear upgrade. Going to be going for Bear is a very wise choice there, and it looks like Moon did move in here and chase Nicker away and managed to keep this Moon Wall alive, which is very impressive. And actually it looks like Moon put that Moon Wall on autocast to repair the Wisp, and unfortunately accidentally healed that some of his other units by accident. And it looks like Moon or Nicker, sorry, with only 3-1 heroes, whereas Moon, I think his Demon Hunter is pretty high at this point. Yeah, very close to 5. Wow, that could be very disastrous for Nicker. It looks like, oh, Moon doing some quite nice creeping here. Just obviously without his Demon Hunter, going to get 5 off that, and at that point he'll really be able to do a lot of damage, and won't just be relegated to sort of doing a bit of harassment. And it looks like Nicker will be getting tier 3 pretty soon though. Yeah, he's getting close, and he is getting bears now, and Moon probably should push before the bears get their master upgrade. That would be an excellent little timing window to attack in, and actually look, sort of these two wisps living in harmony right here. Looks like Moon actually with a massive army, but again does only have that one hero, which is obviously often a disadvantage. Maybe he's going to buy a second hero now that he's hit tier 2. That would be a pretty nice choice. Getting that second, getting that second upgrade for tier 1 units. So we're probably going to be seeing many more huntresses, maybe some archers, and maybe some glaives thrown in as well. That'd be a pretty nice. That's always a pretty nice mix to go for that massive amount of elf tier 1 and not spend any money on sort of getting the higher tech buildings. And I actually quite like how Nicker's base turned out eventually. He has these Ancients of Lore, and then this Ancient of Protector is actually protected a bit by the Ancients of Lore. Nicker is getting this bear upgrade though, and I think this could be pretty bad for Moon, because obviously bears are just so nice tanks against elf tier 1.